Okay everyone, and welcome to another game in which Arcangelo has forced me to comment on because he can't stop ranting about everything in the game. He is in a Leopard 2 with Lord Randall, very good player, I've played with him before, and this is on Reactor with a lot of scouts and some MBTs. So Ark, why have you chosen a Leopard 2?
Well, thing is, I'm trying to diversify what I play, so I just put a filter in my vehicle roster, and I cannot play that vehicle after I've won with it. And one of the last things I had to play was the Leopard 2, so I brought him out. It's an MBT I really like playing for some reason, and you'll see why in this match. Anyway, the match starts, and I have to go middle, because I'm an MBT. And going damn is heresy, and you shouldn't do that, because it's a waste of time. Anyway, moving forward, we know that on the hill in like E5, there are gonna be scouts, as you can see. So I will not go further in this point. I'll just have to wait. And while I'm doing that, I'm looking at the team lineup, on my team lineup and the enemy team lineup, and I see there are a lot of non-MBTs, so I'm gonna have to play very carefully if I don't want to get clipped. Anyway, I see the Weasel, shoot him. You can see the amazing gun handling of this thing. It's really useful against non-MBTs. You can just snapshot them. Anyway, I'm going through this challenger. As you can see, no matter how big your pen is, it's still a question mark if you're gonna pen the lower player or not. So I see he's distracted. I'm shooting the turret side, which is very easy to pen with any type of ammo. And we are already losing 10 to 14 as I am relentlessly clubbing this challenger, which has no recourse for what I'm doing. The Weasel is still trying to kill me, but I'm trying to shoot him every single time he does it, so he stays there. Like, my objective here is to work the challenger down and then take the middle. Just see what I can do next.
So change is going to take a long time to take down because of the ridiculous amount of hit points it has.
Yeah, but I know the weak spot on the side, which is right after the searchlight. Sorry, the the lights on the hull. And if you shoot that, you both do damage and track the shelling, even if it's very well angled. Not many people know how to do it.
You should definitely do that now, people.
Yeah. You need to know the weak spots on the Charlie or you're gonna get clubbed. Anyway,
Hashtag
there's this
break the meta.
Fixated on me, and I'm shooting him as fast as I can. There's this Charlie that thought he could get a penetrating shot on me, but for as bad as the Leopard 2 armor is, it's very good against tanks with not enough pen to go through the upper plate like the Charlie. And he's just paying for it over and over. I am pummeling him. I'm trying to get through the turret cheeks, but only the Sabra can do that, horribly.
Really?
Yeah, it's got enough pen to go through the turret face without even having the challenger trying to angle it. So as you can see, despite my accuracy and AP pen, it's still a question mark whether or not I can go through the driver port. And so I resort to shooting at the lower plate, which kills his driver. And as you can see now, this Charlie is giving up. Yeah.
So Ark, how are you getting such a quick reload?
Level 15 Philip Holtzclaw plus an energy drink. And that is, without a gun breach, that's already 9% extra reload speed, which brings it down to basically 7 seconds, which is not enough to make this tank viable. I fear. It just doesn't have armor. And if you know where to shoot, you can ammo rack it and one-shot it from the front. Anyway, I'm moving very aggressively now because I know there's a lot of ABs near this hill, and I want to deny their positioning. I know there's people going down here, and I'm looking at that hill knowing there's a VBL. So I'm waiting for him to make a mistake, and that is shooting me, so I can shoot him back. Let's see if he falls for it. Yes, he does. That's one shot. I probably didn't hit him.
And the koozie from WNC smoked up for you.
Yeah, I probably got him because of that. But it could have been the other VBL. As you can see, he's still shooting there. I'm trying to see the position. And I think I got him on this. Yeah, I did. I shot him once. Anyway, I know he is the most dangerous target in this game. He's already on 5 kills, and if I get him, I have a chance of winning. So I'm retreating, assuming he's gonna reposition, because I already shot him. He's gotta be repositioning, and he does. I see him going all the way on the other side, trying to get back to his team. So I load heat and chase him.
You see that 3-4?
Yeah, as you can see, he
Nice.
yeah, he is not used to fighting a good player in an MBT, so he stops, thinking I couldn't see him, but I did. He's dead.
You took your first hit of the game there from the M60.
Yeah.
The crappiest gun in tier 5, and you actually got hit by it.
Yeah, and there's this Leopard firing heat, which doesn't pen, but I am also shooting heat because I forgot to switch ammo, so I didn't pen him.
You're able to go straight through the armor on that Abrams.
Yeah, I can just see AP just going straight through, no problem. This thing has tier 8 penetration at tier 7, and the M1 Abrams is a garbage MBT at tier 6 already. So you can see he has no chance in hell to even bounce a shot on me, unless I'm loading heat like a moron. Anyway, I'm giving chase to someone. I want to kill him and then go back to the cap.
So, right now, what's the priority target after this M1?
Oh, it's the enemy VL, pretty much. But I'm chasing this M1, and it's at this point that Randall tells me, I know you have 3 teammates, but if you don't go decap, you're gonna lose this, because you know how teammates work. And yeah, I listened to him, and as you can see, the Leopard 2 has quite amazing mobility, actually. I am running this tank with both synthetic fuel and energy drink, just to boost the acceleration up to maximum, and you can see it goes up to top speed better than a Stingray 2.
Do you take a repair kit as well?
Yeah, like a large repair kit. And I'm running back to the base, and I'm watching this BMD. I mean, he's almost full health. He's gonna take a shot.
The only one who could actually take a hit. Like, the Rukia is a one-shot, and the BMD just decided to join the space program.
Yeah, and so does the BMD-4. He decapped, but he stays still. So I am going into this gap with a PvP and a VBL in it. I know they are both in there because just looking at the cap, I'm seeing 2 people. I'm not even trying to shoot at Isakal. I just want to kill the VBL. And look at how close I have to get when there's smoke up to see the VBL. Look at that.
And the BVP just fucked. I think he was also aiming.
Yeah, the BVP fucked up very hard here. Like, see, he's not even using the autocannon now. I don't know what he's doing. He's trying to use ATGMs and falling back, but there's me and the Rui Cat that are gonna kill him. And the Rui Cat did that kill. So now there's only the M1 at a very low health value, and it's just a matter of finding him.
At this point, you can only win if he gets a lucky ammo rack.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what Randall told me. And yeah, I'm just taunting the VBL right now. I just hate VBLs. So
Yeah, I think everybody does.
There we go. And he's done.
So,
and that's it for the match.
So, now we're gonna say your most favorite line, and now let's take a look at the post-game stats. Okay.
Yeah, I've seen Campion use the Leopard 2 a lot, and now I know why. It's a really fun tank to play when it works, and it doesn't get gangbanged by a TADU from the front, with no chance in hell to ever winning, because it's gonna hammer at you.
8,316 damage, no enemies spotted, 4 enemies destroyed. You promoted Philip, and you got a gold supply crate.
Oh, that's a bug, by the way. Yeah, Philip is already level 15, and when he's level 15, it tells you that there's a promotion available, even though you really don't promote him anymore.
As you can see, you pretty much bent over the Challenger and the Abrams. Did 1 shot of damage to both of the VBLs and the Weasel. You did some, I think, spotting damage to another Weasel, and you one-shotted the well, you hit the BMP and did 2 shots of damage to the BVP.
Yeah, I can see, I basically won, not because I played well, or not only because I played the Leopard 2 well, but also because the enemy team had completely botched priorities. Like, they shouldn't have not capped, they should have just killed us. They had a lot of AFVs by the end of the game, and they had a numerical advantage. They did not have to cap. They had a whole map, which is very, very advantageous for any tank with speed and camo, and they had amazing tanks. They had a BVP and a VBL Leagueway, and for some reason, they decided to try and cap. I don't know why, but that lost them the match. And as you can see, if I didn't take down QZ, he would have probably killed everybody else because he was already on 10,000 damage with the VBL.
You mean Raven? QZ was on your team. Raven did 9,500 damage.
And with that said, he was probably running out of ammo there. Because when you get to the 10,000 damage mark in the VBL, you usually are running short of missiles. Yeah, my team worked well at first. Worked really badly at first. We lost 4 tanks basically immediately before I could even kill the challenger. But then we sort of played defensively near the middle, and we won because of that. The enemy didn't really focus fire, and just left us to kill their teammates until only the 2 capping and the one-shot aimers were left.
You bounced 8,752.
Yeah. And that was all ATGMs and AP shots. And as you can see, the damage blocker ratio is absurd. I've never had a value that high in PvP with a Leopard. It's incredible.
I've only seen that high when you're doing Spec Ops with a Challenger or something.
Yeah. For as bad as the Leopard 2 is against AP, it's surprisingly resilient against heat and ATGMs. Because if you cover your lower plate, which has a little strip in the bottom, you can shoot the ATGMs. The only 2 spots in which you can penetrate it are the turret ring and the turret roof with ATGMs, and it's really hard to hit when you are moving or wiggling. So it kind of is an answer to the current meta, because you have a reliable gun that can go through challengers. You have a very accurate set of shells, which can be very useful on maps like Laternica, and you are very, very well equipped to deal with AFBs, because you both have mobility and agility, and you have ATGM protection from the front. It's a very specific tank to play, the Leopard 2, but I guess I like it. It's incredible to say, but I like the Leopard 2.
I'm sad it doesn't have the APS or the missiles anymore.
Yeah, I used to fire lay hats. I remember like top tier Leopards like the 2A6 had disgusting ATGM DPS. Like they had a 4.5 second reload time. It was absurd. You were just stopping when face sagging, I don't know, a challenger, and you were just raping him through the driver port with ATGMs for a lot of damage.
And that was in Obsidian times.
Yeah,
a time in which a lot of people still wish for, and they think the game was better during then.
No, it wasn't. It was much more streamlined. And, it was much more binary in what you could do with vehicles. Like, if you try shooting on the move with an MBT, you would miss. Every single time the aiming circles would go up to the size of an apple, and trying to shoot a weak spot that's only a few pixels large was impossible. Like, the amount of pixel hunting in the game was basically making every ATGM's linger useless against an MPG from the front. You had to use AP or heat to go through weak spot with accuracy. And a moving MBT basically had no weakness, you had to track it. And even if you did track it, the repair times of the tracks were very, very low. And they would just repair it and go at you again. It was very dumb. And now Balance 3.0 changed that. There are some very serious imbalances, but it's much better overall.
Okay. So, anything last to say, Ark?
Anything less to say? I think the Leopard 2 is a very good alternative MBT, but it still needs buffs. And I don't mean DPM, I just mean armor. The Leopard 2 is one of the only tanks, the Leopard series is one of the only series of tanks that has a weaker upper plate than they do in the lower plate. Like, if you are face-sagging this thing, or even if you're fighting it at range, you have a better chance penetrating the upper plate than you do in the lower plate. and the upper plate is a huge weak spot. It doesn't need to have that.
Especially with the
They
ammo
just-
rack.
Yeah, it just needs a buff on the upper plate. Every single Leopard needs a buff in the upper plate. Like, the 2A has the same weak spot, the 2A6 has the same weak spot, the 2A5 has the same weak spot, and the 2A4 Evo has the same weak spot, and they all get ammo racked there. Just saying. Like, every single time a Russian tank gets introduced, they make sure that the armor works and that you only have a few weak spots to shoot at. The Leopards were completely left behind when it comes to armor, and everything got more penetration, meaning that they are basically glass cannons and they don't really work. MBTs that don't have any kind of hold down capability due to their very bad are not very useful. Like, even the Stabra has marginally better armor than the Leopard 2 when hold down, because it doesn't have as weak as of an upper plate.
And it has the ERA everywhere.
Exactly, yeah. The Leopard 2 doesn't have that. Same as the 2A5. Like, if you're trying to fight a Ramcat with the Leopard 2A5, you have no way in hell to win. It's gonna have a fully green upper plate with both ATGM types almost. And it's just silly.
Don't face hug it either.
Yeah, exactly. They forgot about bringing Leopard 2 armor up to date, and they just buffed the AP pen, which they don't really need, to be honest. Because sometimes you just have enough penetration. Like at tier 10, you don't really need over 800. You're gonna get through weak spots anyway, most of the time. The 2AX's 900 AP pen was buffed at the cost of mobility, armor, and turret traverse, making it pretty much a second line MBT in a game that doesn't really have the need of a second line MBT. You either have armor and push, or you have BPM, mobility, and camo. You don't need an MBT with no armor.
So,
In this game, they are worthless.
why do you play this game over World of Tanks or War Thunder?
It's a much fairer environment if you take commanders and OP vehicles out of the question. It's more dynamic, it has many more tactics going on at once, and the overall feeling is much more inclusive to your gameplay. If you have a very special kind of gameplay, if you want to find a niche, you are always going to come across a vehicle that fits that in Armored Warfare. World of Tanks is very linear when it comes to that. Tanks feel the same, matches feel the same, maps have the same feeling. They're either a corridor or an open field. You know where to go, you always have to go there, no matter the tank you are, given you are that class. It's very basic. Armored Warfare is much more dynamic. It's got so many different scenarios given the same map and the same tank that World of Tanks just pales in comparison.
And War Thunder?
War Thunder is a camp fest, and it has given up on balance whatsoever. And they are releasing more and more overpowered vehicles, and I mean it, broken as fuck vehicles. Not to mention that they just opened a premium, like how's it called? A market, pretty much. Like pretty much in CS:GO style, and I don't like it. They are offering blatantly overpowered vehicles, and players are making money out of selling them, and I am strongly against that. Same as loot boxes.
Okay, well, thank you for your time, Mark.
Oh, no problem. I told you I have a ton of replays.
You do.
I have to go through all of them.
You do. And we'll always review the best ones, or the ones that probably were the most difficult.
Yeah, or the ones that don't involve a broken as fuck vehicle, because we get plenty of those already.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Like, if I had to count the replays of a T-15 or a Sphinx on YouTube that do 15,000 or more damage, I would be sitting counting all day long. There's so many of them. Like, people I feel like good players have given up on playing a tank that's not meta, and I find that so boring. Like, there is no variety in that. It's much better to play underdog tanks and still carry a game with them. They're much more interesting.
Okay, well, thank you, Ark, and I guess we'll see you on Friday.
Oh yeah, have fun.
Take care.
See ya.
See ya.